In most states across America, if you or your spouse has an affair, it's certainly a reason to get divorced, but it doesn't necessarily change the finances. It's an emotional issue, not a math issue. But here in North Carolina, it can be $1 million mistake. North Carolina is one of the few places left where a single act of infidelity can cost you tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. We have a law that can completely bar a dependent spouse from ever receiving a dime of alimony if they cheated. I'm Lisa Angel, divorce attorney in Raleigh, North Carolina with the Rosen Law Firm. If you are worried about how an affair, whether it was yours or your spouse's, is going to impact your financial future, you need to watch this video. I'm going to walk you through the alimony bar, explain who qualifies as a dependent spouse, and tell you exactly what happens when both spouses have been unfaithful. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about who is a dependent spouse. Because we don't use the terms husband and wife or partners, we have very specific legal labels when we're talking about alimony. The supporting spouse and the dependent spouse. The supporting spouse is the one who the court determines is the primary breadwinner, the one the other person relies on to maintain their standard of living. And the dependent spouse is the one who relies on that income. The alimony bar that stops alimony only really punishes the dependent spouse. So how does cheating actually play out in court? We will look at the law that's called illicit sexual behavior, and yes, that is the technical term. And here are 3 scenarios that you need to understand. Scenario number 1, the dependent spouse, the one asking for the money, cheats. If the judge finds that the dependent spouse engaged in illicit sexual behavior before the date of physical separation, the judge must deny the alimony. It's not optional, the judge has no discretion, it's an automatic bar. Scenario number 2, the supporting spouse, the breadwinner, is the cheater. If the dependent spouse was faithful and the breadwinner cheated, the court must order alimony to be paid, but the court gets to decide how much and for how long. But the question is not, will there be alimony? That has been answered, it's a yes. Scenario number 3, and this is one we see a lot, both spouses have cheated. If both have committed illicit sexual behavior, the automatic rule goes out the window. It's now entirely up to the discretion of the judge. They can award alimony or they can deny it based on what they think is fair under all of the circumstances. There's one major exception to all of this, and that is called condonation. Condonation is basically a fancy legal word for forgiveness. If you cheated and then your spouse found out about it, and then you stayed together, you resumed your marital relationship, perhaps you even slept together again after they knew the truth, then they may have condoned the act. If the court finds that cheating was condoned, it is in essence like it never happened legally. The slate is wiped clean. You can't hold an affair over someone's head for 10 years, stay married to them, and then try to use it to stop alimony a decade later. Finally, a critical point on timing. This law applies to acts committed during the marriage and before the date of separation. Once you are legally separated, meaning you're living under separate roofs with the intent to remain separate, you are free to date. Post-separation dating generally does not impact alimony in North Carolina. However, be very careful. If you start dating someone publicly 1 week after you move out, a judge might assume that relationship actually started before you move out. The optics can matter here. As you can see, North Carolina law on this is very strict and the stakes can be very high. Whether you're the one worried about paying or you're the one worried about surviving financially, one text message or one photo can change the outcome of the case. This is not the time to guess, and definitely not the time to take legal advice from friends or other people who got divorced in other states. If you're dealing with infidelity and divorce, we can help you figure out exactly where you stand. Check out the resources in the description below. Visit us at rosen.com and download our comprehensive guide on alimony in North Carolina. Reach out to us for a consultation and we can give you a detailed plan on how to navigate alimony in North Carolina.